North Carolina man was arrested earlier this week following an attempted abduction of a 7-year-old boy near the entrance of a Walmart in Leland. The incident occurred around 4:07 p.m. on Wednesday the 26th of May at the 1112 New Point Boulevard store. Several calls were made to the police who witnessed the man attempting to take off with a child who was in a cart near one of the entrances to the store. 26-year-old Devonta Robbins was captured on CCTV and is seen wearing a white t-shirt as he approaches the child and suddenly grabs the boy and attempts to run off with him. He slowed down when he ran into a passing grocery cart and trash can, which gave the boy's mother enough time to grab her son by the leg and wrestle him away from him. Police arrived at the scene at approximately 4:12 p.m. Robbins was then seen wandering around the car park, and once he saw the police arrive, he tried to flee from the scene, but he was arrested. The authorities said there's no relationship between Robbins and the child or the mother. No weapon was used in the incident, and both child and mother are safe and unharmed. Robbins has been charged with second-degree kidnapping, assault on a child under the age of 12, as well as resisting, delaying and obstructing a law enforcement officer. He's been held in custody under a $75,000 bond. A West Michigan man is accused of holding a woman he met through a dating app against her will for almost a month while beating her. It all started when 45-year-old Trevor Double met with a 24-year-old mother named Kayla McCleary through an online dating app called Meet Me, where he used the alias Alex James. The two had been talking for several weeks and decided to go on a date together. In early April, Trevor unexpectedly showed up at Kayla's home in Battle Creek to take her out for breakfast on a second date. As the first date went well and Kayla thought he seemed like a nice guy, she thought why not. But instead of a date, Trevor took Kayla to his Van Buren home and held her captive for almost a month. He dished out regular beatings and increased the frequency and severity of violence over that time. He threatened to murder her multiple times and warned her that he would harm her 8-year-old son if she ever approached the police. He told her to stop lying to him and threatened to bury a hatchet into her neck after he accused her of cheating on him and talking to other guys. He would assault her with a barrage of punches, attacking her with a knife and beating her with a cell phone while she lay on the edge of the bed with her feet up trying to block her face while getting her legs whacked. She was dragged by her hair and shirt and beaten with an iron and thrown into the walls. She sustained massive bruising and abrasions all over her body. When she told him she wanted to leave, he would beat her up some more. She contemplated running away a few times when he was asleep, but decided not to when she considered he might outrun her and catch up to her. At one time, she even attempted to jump out of a moving car from him. On the 7th of May, Trevor took Kayla to a hospital in Paw Paw, where she received 17 stitches and had her battered body treated. While there, she begged hospital staff to help her and said he's going to kill her and not to leave her with him. The authorities were contacted and Trevor left. Detectives executed a search warrant at Trevor's home. They found bloody gauze, a box of wound dressing, and a broken cell phone that was used to assault Kayla with. They were all seized from the home, but they couldn't locate Trevor. The investigators circulated images of Trevor at area hotels as well as homeless camps. He was spotted by a hotel employee in Kalamazoo and was arrested and taken into custody. Trevor has an extensive criminal history and was out on bond at the time of the abduction. In the year 2004, Trevor was convicted of manslaughter. Trevor's been charged with assault with intent to do great bodily harm less than murder and assault with a deadly weapon. He's scheduled to appear in the district court in South Haven, Michigan on the 2nd of June, and he's been held on an $800,000 bail. Police have arrested a man who's accused of keeping an injured victim inside a dog cage in a home against his will. A female witness saw a badly injured man inside a locked dog pen, so she alerted the authorities to the abuse at 5 p.m. on Saturday, the 22nd of May. She told them the house was located at 115 Foster Avenue, Beckley in West Virginia. She also handed video evidence over to the police and said she saw 3 men, one of whom she knew as Joshua, who was tormenting the man and threatening to kill him if he did not give them a large sum of cash. Although much of the recording wasn't visibly clear, all 3 suspects could be heard taunting the victim. The end of the recording shows 32-year-old Joshua Lafferty following the witness to her car. Later that night at 8:25 p.m, officers searched the property. They found Joshua in the home with a badly injured victim. Investigators also found a large dog kennel covered in blood, but with nobody inside. The victim had multiple cuts, bruises and a significant injury to an upper extremity. Paramedics transported him to a local hospital for treatment. The authorities said the incident appeared to be drug-related. The victim later told officers that Joshua beat him, which included hitting him with a shovel, and demanded a large amount of money from him. Joshua was arrested at his house on charges of kidnapping, malicious wounding, and conspiracy to commit a felony. He's held at the Southern Regional Jail without bond. Detectives are still looking for 2 other suspects they believe that are involved in this incident. A woman is facing murder charges after slitting her 4-year-old son's throat. The incident occurred on the 6th of February, located in Cedar Street in southbound Brook, New Jersey, when 38-year-old Alina Gutti contacted 911 at 2:28 a.m. complaining of injuries to her left wrist. She said she somehow managed to cut her wrist while she was sleeping. When the authorities arrived at her home, they were met by Alina at the door, where she was holding a towel over her wrist and had blood on her hands. The officers looked at the injuries to her left wrist, which required minor medical treatment. Upon further investigation, the officers searched the home and found Alina's son, Aidan Sigania. He was in Alina's bed on the first floor of the home he shared with his mother. He had severe lacerations to his throat, and 2 bloody kitchen knives were found on the floor next to him. Despite officers applying life-saving measures, he was pronounced dead at the scene at 3:17 a.m. After discovering the boy's body, Alina said to the police without emotion, "This is pretty serious." Alina was transported to an area hospital for a medical evaluation by southbound Brook Police. She later explained to the authorities that she recently told her ex-husband that she was depressed. On Thursday, the 27th of May, Alina was indicted on murder charges as the trial continues. 46-year-old Parise Fowler was convicted on Thursday, the 27th of May 2021, in the murder of his friend, 39-year-old Byron Miller, and the bashing of 2 pregnant women. The incident occurred around just after midnight on the 23rd of October 2018 in the 500 block of North Rural Street in Indianapolis, Indiana. Parise stopped by a house to tell 2 women, including Byron's girlfriend, that he needed to talk to Byron. The 2 men had been next-door neighbours and friends for 8 years. Both women who were pregnant refused to say where Byron was, and Parise became angry. He then punched Byron's girlfriend in the stomach and the other woman in the jaw, and the police were contacted. Shortly after Byron confronted Parise about the assaults, Byron shot him in the chest and ran away. While officers were searching for Parise at just after 12:30 a.m, they heard gunfire and returned to the area where they found an adult male between 2 houses with at least 1 gunshot wound. The investigators also found a 9mm semi-automatic handgun in a kennel of the backyard of a residence where Parise often stayed. Byron was taken to the local hospital, where he later died shortly before 1 a.m. On the 4th of December 2018, the authorities located Parise and arrested him at Alabama, and he was brought back to Indiana to face charges. His sentencing is scheduled for the 14th of July 2021.